Hello, ladies and gentlemen. My name is Gia G. Dixon. I'm an etiquette consultant, ILM certified under Royal Charter of King Charles III. Here are traditional unspoken rules for gentlemen that make you stand out. They still apply today. Some people might say that this is very dated. Gia, you're so 19th century. Do not fix what's not broken. Everything and everyone is so casual today to a fault. So if you simply add a little formality, you're not only going to appear more polished, but you will definitely stand out, especially if you practice this every single day to create a habit, turns into a lifestyle, becomes seamless, and you're not stiff when you are inviting people out in the social life. Never say hi, never say hiya. The way to do this is by saying good and then applicable time of day. If it's morning, you say good morning. When you subsequently see someone, say for instance, if you are on the same campus or the same work building, you keep bumping into this person, what you would say is hello. Hello is already very casual, and at one point it was already considered rude. If you understand the etymology of hello and the history of English, you'll know it's the equivalent of saying, hey, you over there. Next is to rise for a lady. Anyone that arrives into the room that you see rise out of respect, especially for a lady. If it's your mother, if it's your sister, your grandmother, your friend, someone you're trying to impress, or your wife, or even your daughter. The rule is when someone walks into the room, you should rise for them. If you're seeing them for the first time that day, if they walk into another room and then come back where you first saw them, you don't need to rise. If you're meeting a lady at a restaurant and you're taking her out on a date, rise when she enters. But if she needs to use the lavatory, you can remain sitting. You do not need to rise again. So rise when you properly enter and rise when you properly exit. Next is to introduce yourself right away. When you see someone you're familiar with, or especially someone you are not familiar with, make sure to share your first and last name. Think Bond, James Bond. The reason for this is you want to show that you have good intention. Don't be afraid if people are going to Google you or find something embarrassing. You should simply never have anything embarrassing on the internet. And what you want to do is also introduce those you are with, especially if they have not met before, or if they have met before and they don't remember, do it right away as habit. If you are in a professional setting, make sure that you introduce the person and their position. Introduce the lady, the eldest, and the one with the most distinctions. This could be someone in high command in the military, or someone that's received a lot of awards, or someone that's very well known. It could also be your boss. Introduce this person first, but remember, if you are with the lady and you want to introduce someone to her, ask her first. An exchange would be like this: Gia, may I introduce you to Andrew? I would say, of course. A gentleman would say, Andrew, this is Gia. She likes to play tennis. Gia, this is Andrew. He plays tennis almost every single day. Give a piece of information about the person if they have something in common, or if you know they have something in common that will break the ice and make them feel more connected. You want to be the person who connects everyone, because you never know whose life you're going to change. You could incidentally introduce people who become married or become a new hire for their company. You never know. Next is to not ramble. Don't ever never bumble about when someone asks, how do you know the bride? How do you know the groom? You already have a story ready. You already have something to say. You already have a speech prepared, or a lecture even. When you ramble, you sound uncertain of yourself, and it's like you're speaking without conviction. Next is to avoid saying the word like. How do you get rid of saying like when it's such an easy crutch to lean on in the lexicon? What you do is you delete it from your vocabulary entirely. So if you replace the word like with I like this, or I like that, I prefer this over this, or I have a penchant for this, or I favor this, or if you're comparing it, then you can say this is as this, or this is similar to this. You don't have to use like. You sound much more credible when people believe what you're saying. People believe the statements you make simply because you do not say like. Next is to stand for a handshake. I saw a video of a man who was greeting Prince William, the future king. He let Prince William bend over to talk to him while he was sitting down. He shook hands with him. He did not stand, simply because he thought he was more important. This is simply a sign of respect. When you are standing for someone when giving them a handshake, you want to show your full presence to give them an idea of who you are. Remember that a handshake is 3 hours of rapport. You want it to be good. It's like fireworks under an MRI. Your brain scans are crazy under a handshake. 2 pumps are for business, 3 pumps are for social. In China, the handshake will go for very much longer. Next is to make a decisive exit. This means that when you are leaving a party, you're leaving a social occasion, you want to not be clumsy when you're leaving. You do not want to forget a few things. You want to leave people wanting more. When you leave, make sure that you have everything on you, that you're organized. Say goodbye to everyone if it's appropriate. 10 or less, say goodbye to everyone individually. If there's a group of 10 or more, then you can simply wave to everyone and say, I'm leaving, okay, bye. But don't hang around. Next is to know the dress code. If you're a person who dresses up a bit more than usual and you notice a lot more people tend to be more casual around you, have a pair of casual shoes in your workspace, your office, your car, and vice versa. You want to be James Bond Boy Scout level prepared. Next is to press your clothes. Always have impeccable garments, never have any wrinkles, or with simply being too casual. Even if you have a really nice sweater that's $900, still make sure that you steam it, make sure that the creases are out. All you have to do for sweaters, if they are cashmere, wool, or any type of natural fiber, is lay them out flat. Do not let them hang because they will stretch. Here's another really old school traditional guideline. The lady always sits on your left, and you are always seating yourself from the left. The reason that the lady sits on your left is because a long time ago, knights would have their sword sheathed in their braddock. Their sword would be in their right hand. This meant that she was out of harm's way and you could protect her. Next, monograms are at the bottom of your shirt. They should never be on the cuff. They should never be on here. They should be the bottom of your shirt, because when you open your jacket to pay, then the people who are being treated know who is paying. Another thing is to cross your legs. If you're an entrepreneur who's on the cover of a magazine and you're sitting manspreading, it looks really unflattering when you're sitting down. Any type of clothes, it doesn't matter if you're in a suit, if you're in jeans, it's more comfortable if you are in clothes that are not painted on. So make sure that your clothes are never too tight. I do not believe that men should wear skinny jeans, nor do I believe that women should either. There are so many more flattering cuts. I do not like denim personally. But if you have wool, if you have cotton, if you have any type of blend, you want your clothes to be breathable. And if you are uncomfortable with your clothes, then you probably need to switch the fiber to be natural, have your underwear be breathable. So this way you're not manspreading all the time, so you can feel cool even if your legs are crossed. If you notice pictures of any king or any prince today has their legs crossed, because it makes you look more polished. If you have professional photos or if it's for Instagram, sit with your legs crossed, you will look more svelte, you will look taller, you look stronger, you look more put together. It hides the creases where your crotch is. I know this sounds really crass, but it's the truth. It's just very unflattering on anybody's body shape. Next is to not slam doors or slam items. People have a tendency to slam items down, say if it's a water bottle, whatever is in their hand, they make a lot of noise. You do not want to unintentionally nerve someone or bother someone or being an interruption to someone's thoughts. Nothing is ever about you, so make sure that you consider everybody else around you. Do not be too loud, do not talk too loud on the train or the metro, do not stomp around too loud on the steps. I hear this a lot. Sometimes there are people whom I can hear before I see. Also, stop cursing. There are lots of young men who, or even full-grown adults, older men who curse endlessly, and it's totally unnecessary because you have a vocabulary. Use your active vocabulary. All those lectures and podcasts and books that you read and listen to, they should be used. If you want to be taken more seriously, if you want to sound more put together and more elegant, then you'll stop cursing, because it doesn't make anybody look good around you either. The other people that you are with, if they know you, and it represents yourself most of all. The final thing is, do not mock or make fun of things or people. Do not make fun of anyone at their expense. Do not make a joke at anything else's expense. You should be able to find a sense of humor in things that are actually clever and witty, rather than bothering something or someone that does not need to be disturbed. I hope you have a beautiful day. I'm going to create more gentlemanly videos, so subscribe and click the bell for that. Give this a like. Thank you so much for watching, and have a beautiful day.